Week is in full swing at LaSalle University, and as the warm weather moves in, so does exciting events across campus. Hello, I'm Steve Graham.
And I'm Callie Montana. What a time to be alive in Philadelphia with all the success on the basketball court. We have all this and more coming up on LTV News, where the action never stops.
Hello and welcome to LTV News, where we bring you everything from 20th and Olney Avenue, Philadelphia, and the world.
There is a lot to catch up on in this next half hour as Corey Meredith sits down with the president of LaSalle's Enactus team. So let's hear the buzz around campus.
As the banners went up on Monday, it was the first sign that Greek Week has begun and all the fun activities that accompany it. To get the excitement going, Greek Life had karaoke on Tuesday night. People crowded into the ballroom so they could witness all the action and get some laughs in as well. In addition to that, the Olympics were held Wednesday night, and students competed in events such as volleyball, dodgeball, three-point shooting, and an obstacle course. The next night is about looking your best for the red carpet because Campus Movie Fest will be showing movies in the Gola. To wrap up the week on Friday, it's Greek God and Goddess. This event will take place at the Heyman Center at 7:30 and will determine which Greek organization will take home the crown.
Alpha Theta Alpha hosted their annual and final Wing Fest on Wednesday, March 30th. Organizations from all parts of campus participated in wing eating competition. Representatives were escorted and coached by their fellow club members throughout the event. The student body was also welcome to attend with an entrance fee of canned goods or $2. All proceeds were donated to Greek organization philanthropies, Philabundance and the Be Positive Foundation for totaling over $350 and close to 260 canned goods.
For the second time this year, all student body presidents from the Big Five universities, including LaSalle, Penn, St. Joe's, Temple, and Villanova, met to discuss changes on campus. LaSalle SGA President Beckett Woodsworth told LTV News that topics such as diversity and student drinking were addressed. They aim to make each campus more diversified and safer. This will be the last time all SGA presidents meet before re-election for each school. Next year will be a new batch of presidents, and change will soon be coming to LaSalle. For the first time ever in Student Government Association history, a debate forum will be held between presidential candidates who want to lead LaSalle next year. In the past, those running for election gave speeches in the quad. However, with low attendance rates, SGA wanted to find a new way to get students more involved. On Friday, April 15th, there will be a debate between all candidates in the music room in the Union Building. All students are encouraged to come and bring questions to learn more about those running for office.
So the debate is a way to kind of get a more fluid conversation going where students can ask questions about how the candidates will act on certain issues. I'm definitely excited because I like having conversations with students. I think speeches can be a little bit too artificial sometimes because you can write anything you want and nobody has to ask you any questions pursuing you on some point that you made in your speech. This way you can get a natural response.
Students ready to lead in the workforce and in the community joined the Explorer Enactus team for the regional competition in Washington, D.C. at the end of this past March. Guess what? LaSalle is moving on to the Nationals, and the president of the team joined us in the studio. Check it out.
And today I am joined with a very special guest, my friend and LaSalle Enactus president, Kenneth Brewer. So Kenneth, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Thanks. So just let's dive right into it.
When
What
Callie
is LaSalle Enactus?
LaSalle Enactus is a premier business organization on campus. We specialize in community service on an entire different level. Innovation, technology, and a little bit of the arts, a little bit of the system and analytics to it, but it's really a premier business organization on campus.
So what are some of the projects or the main goals that you guys have for this year and in past years and further years if they continue on throughout time?
Yeah, so this year we specialize in 4 projects. So it's project adaptations, Chow Pow, the Green Expansion Project, and a little bit of the Open Minds competition. So Chow Pow was a unique research project, and Chow Pow was literally taking an innovative technology bracelet and streamlining it, basically making bracelets for those in businesses and those who need resume technology is a little more easier. So using near-field communication, we specialize in this unique bracelet for the consumer. And Project Adaptations was actually helping out those with autism actually get jobs. So that was two of our new and innovative ideas. And the Green Expansion Project was an entirely new project, right? It was really the project that made us say, hey, you know what? We need to go into Philly. We need to actually go into the community and help our community and actually grow fresh produce. So we said, you know what? Instead of buying fresh produce, instead of going to our local supermarkets, let's dive right in, right? Let's go into the community and let's build a project that will literally change the game in Philly. So this project really opened our doors and said, hey, we can actually do this. We can actually make fresh produce in Philadelphia. We can make this happen. So that was our core project. And last, Open Minds, it was really a new project, right? It was a new innovative concept and design in the sense of actually competing on campus, getting students to step out their comfort zone and do new projects. And it was entirely like a mini Shark Tank almost. So yeah, that was Open Minds, but those are our 4 core projects this year.
That's awesome. I feel like you guys try to create everlasting change rather than just helping someone and then moving on to the next thing. So that's something that's really good about Enactus.
Right.
So as president, what is your main goal or what's your main job in facilitating the group?
So beyond all this, my goal is to help the project managers. I want project managers to feel as comfortable as possible. I want project managers to feel as if they're home. I want project managers to understand that, business concepts is hard to understand. So as president, I have to make sure that everything is in line, everything is detail oriented, but everything is fun for the project managers to do and for our students. So as president, I take a step back and say, hey, it's not about me, it's about what we're doing in the community. I mean, I can care less if I'm president or a project manager or a volunteer. The goal is to help the community. So as president, I make sure that our project managers are okay and our students are enjoying their time volunteering. So my role as president is to take a step back and let our project managers be as comfortable as they can be.
How do project managers get chosen?
Project managers kind of have a passion and drive to take new projects on. I tell them, hey, if you have a new idea and if you're spirited enough to take an idea head on, join, start the project and really take it with full force.
So do they come up with the idea or do they work with the idea and then become a project manager?
It's kind of a mix of both. I mean, some people take the risk to say, hey, I have a new idea, start it up. And some people say, hey, I have an existing idea, but I want to kind of change it a little bit. I want to kind of add more ideas, add more design concepts. I kind of want to say, hey, I'm afraid to start my own idea. However, can I take a year to get myself ready for a new project, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of a mix of both.
Kind of get your feet wet and see
exactly.
how it is to take on a project in its entirety. Now, how do the project managers choose their team? How many people are to a team? How many focus on one particular project, if that's even an answerable question?
Yeah, I mean, our project can be as small as a 4-member team. It can be as large as a 30-member team. It's all about how big the project is in itself. The Green Expansion Project has 15 members because it's such a developing project. It needs all hands on deck. While Chow Pow is a innovative technology project, phase 1, 4 people on deck, 4 people on the resource project itself. It's kind of a one-base model project.
So now LaSalle Enactus actually goes to competitions.
Yes.
So why do they compete?
So in order for us to stay current, for us to really stay relevant in the U.S., we need to compete at the national level. We want universities to know what we've done. Our project managers work hard for so many months. We want people to know, hey, here's this project, here's this idea. Let's showcase it. Let's present to the judges and say, hey, we worked hard on many months. Let's say, hey, let's actually go out on the stage, present our ideas, and present like a Shark Tank style. Yeah. So competition is gives us the opportunity to really shine and do things that we haven't done before.
And show off all your accomplishments.
Exactly, yeah,
They're worth it.
Exactly.
They're worth it.
Yeah.
So you guys just went to your regional competition, and congratulations,
Thank
you're
you.
moving on to nationals. That's awesome. So what goes into a regional competition? How is it actually formatted?
Well, the competition typically has about 40 to 60 universities per regional competition. There's 8 in the U.S., 1 in the Northeast, 1 in the West. It's kind of all scattered. So 80 universities come together, or 60 come together in one unit and compete. So usually half of those go on. So you compete, just like a regular March Madness bracket, or if you take one opportunity and you don't do too well, you may be contended to a back end of next year, or you may have to compete next year. But it's literally competition style. So 1v1 versus the universities, and we go head to head.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations again.
Thank
so
you,
now you're
appreciate
getting
it.
ready for nationals.
Yes.
What does that mean?
It's kind of a lot to process. I mean, it's my
Right.
first year as president. Having this national competition on my agenda, it's like, whoa, what am I going to do? Like, what's the next step? So it's all hands on deck for project managers. It's all hands on deck for us to say, hey, let's come together as a unit, as a team, to say, what did we do at regional competition wrong, and how can we improve? I'm saying? I'm all about improving. I'm all about sustaining our projects into bigger, better things. So for national competition, we have to change the game and change the blueprint. So literally making an entirely new model of competition, an entirely new model of how we compete, and making it this national grand, as you can say, style of competing.
So now you have won a place in nationals,
Right.
obviously.
Right.
So you guys really have to prepare for that. And it's in St. Louis, right?
Yeah.
So how do you guys get there?
So we're going to travel by plane. So it's actually May 15th. So it's the day after finals. So kind of like, oh my God.
So not only do you have to get ready for finals,
right,
you have to
it's
get
like
ready
this
for
day
nationals.
Right? So it's a big deal. I spoke to our dean. And I was like, hey, this competition is the day after finals. Just wanted to make you aware that it's happening. He's
thanks
like,
for that.
Thanks for that. I'm like, our students might be a little stressed out, but as president, like I said before, I want to make sure that everybody's comfortable and on a deadline. So I'll make sure that no work, inactive-related work, is going to be done the week of finals week, because I'm not going to be doing any inactive-related work. Yeah, so it's very important.
That's awesome. Well, good luck to you guys at nationals.
Thank you. Appreciate
and thank
it.
you so much for sitting down with us today. So from LTV News, for our interview segment, back to you guys at the desk.
The Association for Women in Communication hosted a speed networking night on April 5th, where LaSalle Communication alumni spoke to ambitious students. Callie Montana has the story.
On Tuesday night, the Association for Women in Communication held their spring speed networking panel. 6 alumni came back to tell their story of how they got to where they are today and answer any questions that students might have. The students were broken into small groups so they could ask those questions and get advice, while also networking and getting their name out there. While I was there, I also had the opportunity to speak with the Vice President of AWC, Anna Gomez, and ask her a few questions.
Networking is a really, really big part of our mission here at AWC, because we really want to give the students the tools to not only learn how to network and learn how to be professionals, but then also be able to make those connections and to be those professionals and have those connections once they go on past being a student here at LaSalle. More and more, AWC is trying to integrate as much social media and as much promotional materials as possible, because as comm majors, we're learning all these tools to learn how to engage people on social media and become better networkers and become better people to learn how to promote and market. So we're trying on our end to build up a social media base. We're trying to build up a well-known brand for AWC. I think that's really important. I think that's something that you're going to see within the next few years, is AWC is going to really try to become more than just an organization at LaSalle, but really a brand at LaSalle.
It was a very successful night, and at the end, myself and other students were able to speak to the alumni individually to be able to network some more. For LTV News, I'm reporter Callie Montana. Time for our first commercial break, but when we get back, we'll tell you about the Philadelphia's mayor's new plan and more. Stay tuned.
Might feel like there's too many problems in the world, or that you as a 15-year-old, 16-year-old can't really make a difference.
It's not always about you. It's not just one person. It's a group. It's a team. If we all show up together, that's what it's all about.
I was a part of helping to build what it is today.
I'm really lucky to get to be a part of that legacy.
Just that simple act that takes 5 or 10 minutes of your time is making a difference and is transforming someone else's life.
Once you get there and realize how much you can change someone's life, it's one of the best feelings in the world.
I'd do anything to convince you just to be a part of this.
You guys keep doing what you're doing. It's something special.
Get up and try something. Just try it. Just go to one event, one action team event.
It'll just make you feel so good about yourself.
Can I go to the sleepover?
Lucy, I want you to promise me something. If there's any drinking, I want you to say, no thanks,
not my thing.
Mom.
I promise you, your real friends won't care. Deal?
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. A public service message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
Back to LTV News. The city of Philadelphia finally apologized to baseball legend Jackie Robinson for racist remarks he faced 69 years ago. It has been reported that in 1947, while staying in Philadelphia, he was mistreated and was refused room service while staying at a hotel. The Philadelphia Phillies manager, Ben Chapman, and his players even also shouted racial slurs at him during the game. The City Council has passed a resolution naming April 15th the day to honor Jackie Robinson's achievements in Major League Baseball. The apology was presented to his wife, Rachel Robinson.
90s kids rejoice. Penn Museum is hosting its own version of Nickelodeon's Legends of the Hidden Temple. In the original, teams competed in challenges in order to gain access to the Hidden Temple, where the final team had to race against the clock in order to find a temple artifact. This new version will allow teams such as the Blue Barracudas or the Green Monkeys to trek throughout the different galleries of the museum. In addition to competing in different challenges, some of the challenges test the players' strength of body and mind, as well as their knowledge of Native American culture. This event comes off the heels of an announcement by Nickelodeon to make a Legends of the Hidden Temple movie, which will be released this fall. Tickets for the event, which cost $20, have all sold out, but Penn Museum has said that they are looking to host another night for this event. So keep an eye on a lookout for the tickets in the near future.
Matty Yunk is hosting their Spring Food Festival this Sunday, April 10th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Over 50 of Philadelphia's best food trucks will be on the main street, offering everything from barbecue foods to sweet desserts. You could purchase homemade oils, spices, and jams from the gourmet food vendors. Fresh fruits and vegetables also will be available at the farm stand. Enjoy the savory goods while strolling through the local businesses, which will be hosting sidewalk sales and special promotions. There will be live music on Green Lane, Cotton Street, and Schurz Lane. Matty Yunk Beer Garden on Cotton Street will be offering samples of area brews. The Matty Yunk Street Food Festival will be held rain or shine. The festival serves as a kickoff event for Matty Yunk Restaurant Week. Also, check out Restaurant Week, which features some of the finest eateries for only $15, $25, or $35.
April 5th, 2016 could arguably be the single greatest day in Philadelphia basketball history. The day began with music to the ears of all Sixers fans. Former point guard Allen Iverson was named to the 2016 NBA Hall of Fame class. The Hall of Fame nod capped an extraordinary career that includes Rookie of the Year, 4-time scoring champion, 9-time All-Star, and of course a league MVP trophy. LTV reporter Sean Garditi joins us to recap the rest of that memorable Monday. Sean.
Thanks, Steve. It truly was a perfect ending for the March Madness tournament. Later that Monday night, Villanova tipped off against the North Carolina Tar Heels in the NCAA National Championship. The Wildcats and the Tar Heels always had an answer, keeping the game very close throughout both halves. Deep into the second half, Villanova held a comfortable 10-point lead until UNC came back to close the deficit. UNC's Marcus Page threw up a miraculous three-pointer to tie the game at 74 with under 5 seconds left. But what happens next is almost indescribable. Marcus Page's amazing shot was answered with an even better one. Villanova inbounds the ball with 4.5 seconds left to Ryan Arcidiacono, who dishes it to Chris Jennings just over the half-court line, and Jennings sinks the shot at the buzzer to win it all. Villanova claimed their second national championship in school history. Congrats to the Wildcats. And boy, Steve, I must say that sure was a great shot.
that, Sean. I don't know if you were watching that night, but just the reaction from everyone across this area, every bar and the Villanova gym, you can see the reaction videos going around social media now, but it's just exciting because Philadelphia sports has just been such a state of despair right now.
I mean, I wasn't even watching it. I was at the library, but you could hear the people outside screaming, so I had a feeling they won.
Well, coming up after this last commercial break, hear all about the news surrounding the U.S. women's soccer team.
You are now watching LaSalle TV.
Hey babe, what's up?
Where have you been?
I told you I was in a group project session.
You know I don't like it when you stay out this late.
But I told you before.
But I told you to always let me know where you are. And to always answer your phone.
I'm sorry.
You never listen. You know I worry about you. But still, you consistently never do what I say.
No! Stop! Stop!
Domestic abuse can happen to anyone.
If you or someone you know is in an abusive relationship, please call the number below. And remember, it is never the victim's fault.
Let's check out what's going on around the world. The Supreme Court reached its first 4-4 split at the end of March following the passing of Justice Anton Scalia. The case being decided, Friedrichs versus California Teachers Association, determines whether public employee unions could require those who do not want to join a union but still benefit from the activities of the union should pay an agency fee in lieu of membership dues. Prior to Scalia's death, it was expected that the union would lose the court battle. However, with the settlement, a lower court ruling generally stands in this case. The Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit ruled for the union, thus giving California Teachers Association the victory. The future of the Supreme Court will remain up in the air as President Obama looks to fill the empty seat while Senate Republicans work diligently to deny filling the vacancy until after the election.
The U.S. women's soccer team has been flooding the headlines lately. First, 5 players filed a federal complaint accusing U.S. soccer of wage discrimination, stating that they make 40% of what players on the U.S. men's national team earns. Now, the U.S. women's team has had much more recent success, including 3 World Cup titles and 4 Olympic gold medals. The case was submitted to the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, which the federal agency that enforces law against workplace discrimination. In other news, former star player Abby Wambach, who has recently retired, was arrested on Saturday, April 2nd and charged with driving under the influence of intoxicants. After full cooperation with police, she was released with a misdemeanor. In her statements on Facebook, Wambach said, quote, "I promise that I will do whatever it takes to ensure my horrible mistake is never repeated. I am sorry to my family, friends, fans, and those that look to follow a better example." End quote. And now, Eddie Dunn, a student here at LaSalle University who is competing in Campus Movie Fest, the largest student film competition in the world, has been here the past 2 weeks, and there's a competition coming up. And Eddie's joined us in the studio to talk a little bit about his work on his movie. Eddie, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely, thanks for having me.
So did you get to make a movie this year? You're going to be competing?
Oh yeah, we pulled out all the stops for this year's movie. We actually had got started probably about the end of last year's competition. I know I had written the script for our movie and probably started writing that over the summertime, which obviously is months in advance of the competition, but we wanted to get our idea in place, and then we're writing the script over the summer, we're fine-tuning it over winter break, and then once you get that going, then you have to figure out where are we going to film the movie, who are we going to have in the movie. There's just tons of pre-production that go into the whole process. and it takes a long time. I mean, obviously we're starting months in advance because we want to make the best movie possible. Last year we got shown in the top 16, which was great. This year, of course, we want to get shown in the top 16 again, and hopefully, move on to Terminus in Atlanta this year.
Now, Eddie, what are your expectations for this movie?
Well, our expectations is to at least make it into the top 16. We definitely struggled making this year's movie, but we think it turned out pretty well. And from people who have seen it, they've also thought that it turned out pretty well. So we hope to make the top 16, and like I said, we hope to become one of the top 4 movies at LaSalle this year and move on to the Terminus competition.
And now, this is your 3rd year making a movie here at LaSalle. What do you think you have improved on, and is there something you've done in this movie that you haven't tried before?
I think we've improved on a lot of things, because recently I've gone back and I've watched our previous 2 movies, and we've definitely gotten better over the years. I think just in terms of getting a story down and figuring out how we want the story to progress, we've definitely improved in that. We didn't even have a script our freshman year, so that really messed things up, but we've been getting scripts done. They've been getting better and better, I think. This year, one thing that we tried that was really different is we did what you saw in Birdman, how they had a lot of long shots. Everything was just one shot, so we wanted to try and do that. We experimented a little bit in our last movie, didn't really work out, so we tried it again in this movie, and half the movie, I think, is all done in one take, which was pretty awesome. We were very proud of that.
Well,
now Eddie, what kind of advice can you give to people who might be nervous about making a movie?
Advice to give to people who are nervous about making a movie, I'd say don't be afraid of anything. Just go for it, because really hardly anything's off limits. I shouldn't say nothing is off limits, but there's so much that you can do that you shouldn't limit yourself. And if you have an idea, just go for it. Do whatever you think is the best thing. If you have an idea in advance, then go full on with that. Start writing the script and do everything you can to make it the best it can be.
Well, Eddie, thank you for joining us today. I look forward to seeing your movie. I've seen the ones in the past. They've had some great stars in them, to be honest.
Thank you very much, Steve. I hope you enjoy it.
Well, that just about does it for this episode, but be sure to find us on the web, as well as the rest of LaSalle TV on the Facebook page. We love to hear your thoughts, so tweet at us using our Twitter handle and start the conversation.
And if you missed the scoop and want to see it, you can find our episodes on YouTube on our LaSalle TV Philly page. Until next time, for Corey, Callie, and the entire crew, I'm Steve Graham. Thanks for watching LTV News, where the action never stops.
Mm-hmm.